Thank you, Dr. McMahon, Dr. Zhang, and members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff. I am truly humbled to accept this honorary doctorate. I want to begin by acknowledging the parents, friends, family, whose unrelenting support and encouragement have helped your graduates every step of the way. Congratulations. I'm thrilled to share this moment with you, but even more so, class of 2025, I am delighted for the opportunity to serve as your commencement speaker. Kettering is an institution like no other, one with deep roots in the auto industry, but one that's evolved to serve every industry. Kettering graduates are innovators, teachers, leaders in business and technical fields, and agents of change. They have a long and storied history, not just contributing to the communities where they live, but driving the changes that shape our world. Class of 2025, it's your turn now. I'm fourth generation in the auto industry. My grandfather and great-grandfather both worked at Ford. Through a tool and die apprenticeship program, my grandfather worked on the cutting-edge vehicles of his time. His wages made it possible for my grandmother to pursue her American dream too. She opened her own business, a candy shop in downtown Plymouth, Michigan. I benefited from my own apprenticeship journey through Kettering's co-op experience. It helped pay for my education, making it possible for me to become the first person in our family to earn a bachelor's degree. Moreover, it launched my career at the progressive edges of auto tech, first in emerging areas like electrification, then later in new forms of mobility and autonomy, fields not yet imagined during my grandparents' lifetime. My mother and father were in the industry too. When we were young, my dad instilled in me and my two sisters a deep curiosity about how things work. He showed us how to fix vehicles and appliances around the house, and he taught us problem solving. It's no wonder all three of us became engineers, and two of us Kettering graduates. And it seems this love of technology and the technical is making its way to the next generation too. My oldest, Maddie, just finished her own degree in information sciences. And Livy is pursuing a degree in music education. In fact, I came home from work this week to find a disassembled piano in the middle of our living room. I remember sitting where you do today in 1994, and those feelings you have, those never change. Enormous relief at finishing your degree, and pride in reaching this day, and yes, a touch of fear from the uncertainty ahead. I also recall deeply questioning my ability to remain at the cutting edge after such an intense period of learning and personal growth. Now I understand that Kettering had prepared me even for that, to seek out innovation's frontier wherever I landed, never to lose that curiosity by embracing a love of learning and self-improvement that continues long after graduation. So something else you should feel today in abundance, if you don't already, is prepared. Prepared to seek out new challenges, prepared to learn more at every opportunity, prepared to navigate the many difficult and uncertain transitions you will face throughout your careers and your lives. Jobs will come and go, relationships will flourish and ebb, and technology is transforming the way we live and work faster than we ever imagined. Often, moments of transition will find you. and the challenge will be facing the inevitable. Other times, though, your own instincts will lead you to feel unsettled and ready for something different. And you will need to draw on all your courage and wisdom to decide if and when to pursue a new path. That's what happened to me. It was because Kettering prepared me that I felt confident enough to make career moves across industries, functions, and job levels. When opportunities arose to take a break from engineering and work on corporate strategy and then accounting, I took them. When I had the chance to try venture capital and later investment banking, I made the move. And whenever I was asked to do something that didn't fit neatly with my background or experience or plan, if I was excited about the company's mission and I believed I could make an impact, I said yes. The detours ended up becoming the route. Learning how to embrace that mindset isn't easy. It can be challenging to set no firm limits on your ambition or your willingness to step into the unknown. But far more than your peers across the country, you are prepared to take on the new and the unfamiliar, ready to jump into demanding and in-demand jobs at the forefront of science, engineering, and management, ready to say yes, even if the path isn't fully visible or isn't considered traditional. It's easy for me to recognize Kettering's impact on my own journey all along the way. And not just because I met my husband, Chris, on the very first day of school in a manufacturing processes class where we welded and machined parts on a lathe. Here, I learned to analyze, to problem solve, and to adopt a first principles approach. My engineering classwork challenged me to go deeper, to understand the core of a problem, 20 layers deep, if that's what it takes, to persevere in that search for solutions, no matter how difficult, and to collaborate with my classmates from other disciplines as we sought new ways to reach our objective. Later, in venture capital, in revolutionary startups, I experienced this firsthand. It is at depth where you can see so clearly the boundary constraints holding back innovation, where you can challenge the current understanding of excellence, where you can create something new and extraordinary. You see, incremental improvements happen at the surface, but to achieve transformational changes, you need to find the core. This kind of first principles approach won't just help you identify the heart of a problem, it helps build character. Yes, Kettering students acquire superb technical and business skills, but even more importantly, you gain life skills that will prove equally useful and necessary. It was at Kettering that I practiced being comfortable with being uncomfortable. The intimate, nurturing environment here allowed me to try on roles that would have been out of reach at a larger institution. This gave me the confidence later in my career to make bold pivots across different fields and functions and to curate a love of new challenges. I took up soccer and was a goalie for my recreational team. I became an editor of the school newspaper despite having no formal writing background. And I even had my first 2 finance jobs here on campus as treasurer of Kettering's rec program and of my sorority. One of the most formative experiences I had at Kettering was serving as a resident advisor. The freshman girls in my unit were entering a difficult technical environment, bucking stereotypes to pursue their interests, often against others' expectations. Frankly, That was one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. Learning how to be a mentor, how to listen to others, share tears and triumphs, how to help them see in themselves capabilities and capacity for leadership they hadn't yet discovered, how to make space for their mental well-being and my own, and how to be respectful of diverse origins and perspectives. These are the core tenets that I still draw on every day as a leader, inspiring and encouraging people, making a safe space for them to succeed and to share their talents and ultimately their creativity. I also learned here how to grow through failure by neither ignoring mistakes nor letting them discourage me. Whether it was failing an exam or having to drop a statics course midterm to try again the next term, I learned, sometimes painfully, to build resilience when it would have been a whole lot easier to accept defeat. I learned to reflect on what went wrong, as hard as that was to relive, and to commit to myself to do better. But after that commitment was made, I learned to let it go, to truly roll off my back and move forward. I draw on that lesson even today, when the mistakes I make are on a much grander scale, like the large deal I botched for the partners in my venture capital firm. Fortunately, through reflection, I found a way to make a better deal. But in the moments between deal 1 and deal 2, I had to face my mistakes head on, commit to do better, and then move forward. You will too. The conversations you've had around the lunch tables, the friendships you've built in and out of the classroom and lab, and the on-the-job collaboration in your co-op placements, all of these have helped prepare you for what's next as much as your curriculum. Kettering truly is where data meets depth. And let me assure you, you're going to use all your preparation, because the nexus between technical knowledge, life skills, and personal confidence is where you will find the spark that ignites your unique capacity to grow, to learn, to lead, and to navigate effectively the challenging transitions to come. This will be true in your careers. This will be true in your relationships. And it will certainly be the case as new technologies like artificial intelligence transform the way we live and work. I want to take a moment to commend your professors and administrators for recognizing how transformative that new technology will be and for building AI into the new curriculum. Just as important, though, is the launch of Kettering's new School of Foundational Studies to teach liberal arts, math, and core science. More data, more depth. Technological leaps will challenge you. The career ahead of you will test everything you've learned. Life will throw up a roadblock just when you thought the path was clear. It's never easy to look down a winding road and not know where it leads. It can be equal parts exciting and terrifying. But class of 2025, I know you are prepared. Never lose sight of the first principles approach you learned here as you dive deep into every problem and opportunity that comes your way. Look for the confidence that in turn will grow deep inside you. Listen to it, trust in it. That's where you will find your strength and direction. Born into the digital age, supported by an education like no other, ready for any challenge, you have everything you need to make this moment your own, and the next moment, and the next, and all that will follow. I have no doubt you will chart your own unique journey of contribution, of fulfillment, and of adventure, even if it's full of unexpected detours. Congratulations, class of 2025. Go Bulldogs.